allow me to share this story with you, okay? There were two guys, Junak and Akash. They were strolling down the lane. They took some lefts, some rights, and they ended up in a sidewalk. Junak, the more sensible of the two, he was walking a bit further ahead. Junak suddenly stopped. And he bent down to touch something and announced, Akash, don't move your muscle. Don't move a muscle. No one step forward. Akash confused. You okay, Junak? Yeah. I found this beautiful flower. Since Akash was a bit bad, he couldn't see. So he asked, Junak, don't you think there is some spilled endeavor of some, pedestrian? Junak confused. What? See, it's a flower. Come. He came, he was checking. Yeah, it's a nice flower. Hannah? Such a beautiful blue flower. Blue? Dude, that's purple. Purple? That's blue. Blue, purple. Then again, Junak said, are you colorblind? Akash, yeah, aren't you? Yes, I'm colorblind too, but I can figure out the difference between the blue and the purple. In the midst of their conflict, blue and purple, there was this onlooker looking at them with a chana. And he asked, hey, you guys okay? Junak, yes, sir, we're good. Can you help us figure out the color of the flower? He stopped. Flower? Yeah, is it blue or purple, sir? Flower, you said. That's a rotten tomato. Guys, they both were blind. And they were fondling a rotten tomato on the sidewalk. So what is expected of a creative person? Is it the ability to captivate emotions with intrigue and excitement? Well, I think there's a little bit more to the story. From becoming a person that people expect you to be, to becoming a person that you aspire or you desire to be, it's a long, generous walk. It's a long walk from point A to point B, but in this case, surprise, surprise, there is no point B. It's a long walk without a destination to be able to reach that content space that we desire to be in. Little bit confused. है ना? थोड़ा सा. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. Hi, I'm Asutosh Kashyap, a visual storyteller. From creating 15 films, 6 documentaries, 4 ads, 8 to 9 music videos, and click roughly 16 to 17,000 pictures in a course of 16 years. Some of my works are released. Some of my works will never be released. Some of my works are in production, and some of my works are in post-production. And here I stand before you in this beautiful, beautiful stage of TED to speak about my life, my skills, my will, my craft, my breaks, and my ability to overcome defeat. Just by scoring 70 to 79% in my boards, to becoming a volunteer snake rescuer by the age of 11. Can you imagine? To becoming a professional tennis player. To becoming not so best-selling author. To becoming a photographer. And finally, to becoming a professional filmmaker. I am still finding my ways to be relevant in this ever-evolving creative society. See, I am also still finding my content zone. Did you get it? You know what is life's hardest challenge? Well, I think it is the ability to navigate through the intricate process of decision making, like who you are, who you aspire or you desire to be, What is your true identity? Putting oneself in front of the world in search of the identity, I think it's extremely challenging. In the realm of creativity, innovations are not born out of ignorance, and you know that. Innovations are born out of profound comprehension. Well, by that statement, I usually aim for the basics. I aim for the basics, not for some conformity, but for that deep-seated knowledge that will help me push my boundaries against those unexpected and unterrorized territories of thoughts. So, here for the reference. When I say basics, I meant the basics of storytelling, like the 3x structure, or the basics of photography, like the rule of thirds, or the basics of cinematography, like the short angles. Here my friends, or friends of my same genre, or my interns, or some of my students, they do come to me and ask me, why bother, Asutosh? Why bother so much regarding the basics? And I have a simple theory about it. I don't aim for the basics, just for some conformity, okay? I've been geeking all these years, learning the ABCs. And here, in the realm of creativity, you're meant to break the rules. But my theory goes something like this. You don't have to be a rule breaker to break the rules, or the basics, or the laws. Learn the rules so darn well that breaking them becomes an art form in itself. So, shall we delve into the enigma that plagues artists, writers, and creators alike? The notorious, drum roll please, creative block. Who out here is familiar with the term creative block? 2 guys, 3 guys, okay, 3, 4, okay, cool. Who out here is not familiar with the term creative block? Okay, I can see a lot of hands who are not familiar with the term creative block. Cool. For those who are not familiar with the term creative block, picture this. You're standing in your balcony and you're staring at that blue blank sky for the hours and hours to come. Or you're this writer or the painter and you're staring at that white page or that blank canvas for the hours and hours to come, doing nothing. Suddenly there is this idea pops out in your head. You write it down. You didn't like it, you threw it away. Another idea popped out. You wrote it down. You didn't like it. Another idea popped out. And somehow you like it this time. You wrote it down, but after some time, your brain tells you, क्या फट्टू लिखा है यार, तुमसे कटा ही नहीं हो पाएगा. You didn't like it. Threw it away. It is so frustrating, right? It is so frustrating when you see your ideas and your innovations taking this vacation, I would say, leaving you all high and dry. But I assure you one thing. This shared memory has been experienced by the most notable minds throughout history. Just imagine, you're this brilliant child, right? Genius. You're creating ideas left and right. You're creating contents left and right. Very, very successful. And suddenly this one fine day, bam! Your creativity train decides to take this unexpected detour. Completion of that certain project you're working on, not gonna happen. Rather than crafting ideas for yourself, you'll be stuck, entangled, and molded by these 2 classic questions. And you know these questions. Question 1, log kya kahenge? What would people think? And if we come to 21st century, it's more like, dost kya kahenge? Question 2, what to do next? What to do next? What to do next? What to do next? Enter the stillness, my friends. In this case, in this scenario, what happens? There's a conflict between your mind and your body. Your mind tells you, nah, I will not do anything. I will not do anything. Your body tells you, do something, anything, do something. And there is your poor, poor heart. Your heart becomes the referee of this cosmic tug of war between your mind and the body. How frustrating this can be. But why does it happen? Why does this block happen? Maybe because of relentless pressure. Maybe because of pursuit of perfection. Maybe because of constant rejections. Or maybe, your creative mind wants to play with you. You never know. Wow. So when people are in the block, I've noticed these 3 activities people used to do. Some of us, we go for nature's walk. Walk into the nature for the peace of mind. Some of us, we seek motivation from the motivational videos in social media. And few of us, the adventurous ones, we take a trip. But do you really think, even in those relaxing activities, we are out of the block? Do you really think? Well, sadly, no. You're thinking about circumstances when you're walking in the nature's walk. You're thinking about logistics when you're talking or when you're taking the adventurous trip. You're not actually out of the block. You're still thinking. Your brain is not getting the pause. But don't worry. There is a saying, right? Embracing the absence of an action is not an absence of an action. Don't worry, your brain just needs a breather. Here, creative block is not your enemy. It is that one friend of yours, that frustrating friend who comes in the midnight super drunk. भाई चलो गाड़ी निकालो शिलोंग चलना है पता नहीं क्यों चलो. Creative block is that. So I have curated these 5 antidotes that might be able to help you to get out of the creative block. And there is a bonus at the end. Step 1, embracing the art of pause. Take a stroll down the lane with a cup of coffee. Let the ideas come into you. But always remember one thing. Don't let your ideas fizzle out. Let the ideas shimmer. That is very important. Step 2, diversify your stimuli. Put some more colors into that creative brain. Learn a new language. Learn a new musical instrument. Watch some quirky documentary or, listen to some bizarre podcast. Well, in my case, I have watched Big Bang Theory for the 73rd time. And those who have seen Big Bang Theory, they will know why 73 is the best number. Sheldon Cooper, my God, this guy. Which step are we in now? 2nd? Okay, what is the next step? 3rd. Oh, yeah. Therefore, I have scored 70%. Sorry. 3rd step, it's very important. Okay? This step is very important. Break your routine. Routines, schedules, to-do list. These are all kryptonite of creativity. Disrupt the monotony in your life at that point of time. All I'm saying, swap your working table with a park bench. You will not lose anything. Step 4, never be scared of bad ideas. Van Gogh, when he painted the Starry Night, who have seen Starry Night? Good. Van Gogh, when he painted Starry Night, he didn't paint it in his first brushstroke. He was there in that asylum. He looked through that small window to the blue blank sky for the hours and hours to come. As a trivia, he couldn't see the village in the starry night because the window was towards the upper side of the wall. So technically, when he drew the village, it was all his eidetic memory. This eidetic memory has created the most beautiful masterpiece in this entire world. Step 5, collaborate with a creative alike. Here, I'm not suggesting or concluding that creative people are some different race of people. No. Every single person is a creative person. It is just a matter of the tone that matches and the collaboration comes out beautifully. Here in my case, I have collaborated with Indian Army. I was there at line of actual control for 11 days. You know, I've seen the fire in the national security of our borders. My mother at that point of time, she was devastated. She was devastated for the fact that she thought I was being abducted by the militants and I was held captive because in those 11 days, I was not supposed to switch on my phone in those disrupted areas. But what a memory. What a memory I have shared with the Indian Army. So, we know that now, like the quick winds fade, our stories endure. We know that. We know that our stories can endure. We know that our stories can withstand the sands of time. We know that not to jump off, but to soak it all in. Right? And this antidote might help you a bit. Antidote 6 and the bonus. Stay attuned to the development in technology. I'll tell you why. You won't be able to create the most crisp and emotional image when you're in the Jurassic era. If somebody comes to you and tells like, hey, you can shoot a film in your phone. Yes, 100%. You can definitely shoot a movie, a full-size movie with your phone. But the question is, what phone? Why that phone? What sort of application that goes inside the phone? What sort of apparatus you need to attach in your phone to create a beautiful movie like that? You know, here, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to stay upgraded with fancy gadgets. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, please speak the same language as your audience. And I think this antidote can be relevant in all the multidisciplinaries around the world. Speak the same language as your audience. When you stay accustomed to the development in technology, you can actually play with time. You can pace forward with the taste of your audience, or you can slow things down with the pace of your audience. It's such a beautiful thing. Remember I told you a story in the beginning? Do you remember the story about the blue and purple? There is a conclusion. There is a conclusion in this story. Since that day onwards, Junak and Akash, they found this different sort of appreciation for those invisible flowers surrounding them. Their whimsical outlook towards the world inspired everyone with the fact that in the midst of the ordinary, there lies this extraordinary waiting to be felt, appreciated, and celebrated. Since that day onwards, the blind duo, they enjoyed life, laughter, success, with the fact that the most beautiful flower is the flower that you feel from your heart. With that, I have a little moral to this story. It goes something like this. We discover the profound symphony of our existence, where quiet moments whisper with subtle melodies of our introspection and self-discovery. Did I just hear once more? I'm so bad. Shashi Tharoor, you will be mad. Okay. We discover the profound symphony of our existence, where quiet moments whisper with subtle melodies of our introspection and self-discovery. I really, really wish and pray that your creations become your triumph. I really wish and pray that your stories resonate way beyond the finish line and inspire the generations to come. You know, sky was never meant to be a limit. Thank you kindly.